When you ask regular Filipinos, no, adult Filipinos, what are their most urgent personal concerns? And we looked at the top three, but I want to highlight more than the top three, no, because I want it to be a backdrop to our discussion today. You'll find out that staying healthy is on top, no, with 64% of adult Filipinos saying that this is their most urgent personal concern, which is to be expected in an era of pandemic, no. Number two is to have a secure and well-paying job or source of income. That's 56%. And when you talk about to stay healthy and avoid illnesses, one thing that struck us was the very high number in Visayas. And in this particular area in our surveys, we also noted high opinions, no, very high, very large opinions about or significant opinions about the economy, no, and the impact of COVID-19, no. So you'll see that as we go through the presentation. That to have a secure and well-paying job is number two. To finish schooling, no, of their children. Yeah, hello. Yeah. To finish schooling or to be able to provide schooling for our children. That's number three. Yeah, 45%. And this is important to at least be able, no. I'm sorry, that at least to be able to have enough food to eat every day, no. That's 44%. And again, you'll see very high numbers in Visayas. Okay. Next slide. Now, urgent national concerns. The question here focuses on what government should do, no? What's the top three things government should be focusing on? Okay, this is based on our March 5 to 10 survey. And very clear here, no? Controlling the increase in prices of basic goods and services, that's 52%. A significant number of our countrymen or adult Filipinos in respondents, no, in NCR are seen here. 63% of NCR saw this as a top concern. Overall, it's a top concern for adult Filipinos at 52%. Improving, increasing wages or salaries, no? Okay, is another at 43%. And then the third is access to affordable food like rice, vegetables, and meat. That's 41%. Okay, and you'll notice again when it comes to access to food, this is a very big issue in. It's an issue all across the board, but you're seeing a larger number in Visayas at 48%. Also included, no, although the question just focused on the top three, also focused on creating jobs. It's not so far. We're at 30%. This is 30% of adult Filipinos are saying this is an urgent national concern, meaning that it's an important issue that the administration or government has to deal with. Okay, and since we're transitioning, and this is the first quarter survey, it's likely to be the same sentiment for the incoming administration. Reducing the poverty of many Filipinos is another issue at 20%. And the rest you can see here are urgent national concerns expressed by adult Filipinos. Again, the top three are inflation, improving or increasing salaries, okay, access to food is a key issue, creating jobs and reducing poverty. I'll show the other concerns just to give context, no, to this question. And so yeah, reducing the amount of taxes paid by Filipinos is an issue at 9%. Changing the constitution is not an issue. So these issues about federalism, parliamentary, they don't have any support, no? Okay. You know, and these are some of the issues that are important, but not as important as the top four issues or five issues I presented earlier. So next slide, we show the trends. So we've been doing this since January 2001. And you'll notice that, okay. So you'll notice an upward trend, no? With issues related to inflation, controlling the increase in the prices of goods and services, You also note, no? Yeah. Okay, this is the trend for a year now, okay? More than a year. Looking at all the surveys from January 2021 to our latest, 2022. While the top three or the top concerns remain the same, more or less over the whole year, I think there's an upward trend with regards to food, access to food. There's an upward trend with regards to controlling prices of basic goods and services. This is the last slide. So you'll notice, okay, by and large, these are all very important issues articulated by our countrymen, no? But what is on an upward trend is really controlling the prices of goods and services, access to affordable food, like access to affordable food and creating jobs. So we're seeing an uptrend in these particular areas, and these are the urgent national concerns of adult Filipinos that need to be addressed by the incoming administration.
Dr. Guido David has just joined us. Dr. David, are you there? You have a few updates also on the recent news that there are some increasing cases. Can you give us a little bit of a maybe 2-minute background, and then I will go straight to the economic situation.
Sure. Thank you, Austin, and good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning, and also to George C.
Good morning.
And everyone. So I'd just like to share a quick presentation. So just to give a situationer of what we're seeing, because we're hearing that there's an increase in cases. And I just like to preface this discussion with what we saw in South Africa. Why South Africa? They have roughly similar situation to us, lower vaccination rate, but well, they have had several surges, including the Delta and the Omicron. So they most recently had a BA4 and BA5 surge. And these are the new subvariants that have been detected in the country. So, and we can see that compared to the Omicron, the reproduction number did not increase as high. It was about 4 for the Omicron surge. And during the most recent surge in South Africa, it reached around 2. So this gives us confidence that the current rise in cases will not be as, let's say, as bad as what we saw in January. So in the NCR, this is already what we're seeing. Yes, we're seeing a rise in cases from an average of about less than 100. Actually, it was about 80. And now the 7-day average has increased to 130. And we're seeing that it's now going to be moving past 200. Of course, today and tomorrow, we'll see lower numbers due to the testing. But towards the end of the week, we project that the numbers could be reaching or surpassing 200 in the NCR. This is NCR only. And we can see that the reproduction number is almost at 2 in the NCR. It's about 1.59. But the most recent Omicron surge had a 6 reproduction number. So even though this is more transmissible than the BA2, which spread in January, because of robust immunity or wall of immunity, we still have some level of protection against this new Omicron. But it's going to be breaking through some of the protection, and that's why there's going to be a rise in cases. So this was actually a projection I made back in May during a no-go negosyo meeting. And initially, we're projecting cases to be reaching about 200 to maybe 300. And this is where we are now. This is already updated with the new cases almost at 200, as we mentioned. We're projecting that by the end of June, it will be around 400 to 500 cases per day. This in itself is not alarming. Of course, we have to remind people, the public, to practice health protocols, especially those who are in the vulnerable sector. So I'm going to stop there. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Professor. I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kuya.
One of the things I learned actually preparing for this webinar is that the country's recovery and development is really based on the interface of managing the COVID, which has become an endemic part of our life, as well as the economic situation, the rising oil and food prices. We are just part of a global community. So we're going to see some data on the economic front, economic updates from Department of Finance Undersecretary Marcos